And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him. They arrest a guy who came to New York to turn himself in.
What if one of the world's most famous music moguls had been hiding dark secrets beneath the surface? Literally, that's the question swirling around Sean Diddy comms as conspiracy theories about underground tunnels connecting his lavish properties gain traction. But these aren't just stories about secret hideaways or eccentric billionaire quirks. Allegations of disturbing activities, bizarre rituals, and a network of powerful individuals have fueled these rumors, making this one of the most chilling scandals in recent memory. And now, a shocking new witness, an anonymous former janitor, has come forward with details that may blow the case wide open. What did this person see? And how does it tie into the growing list of accusations against Diddy? Let's dive into what's being claimed.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
For years, whispers about hidden tunnels beneath Diddy's properties have circulated. At first, they seemed like wild tabloid bait, a fantastical blend of Hollywood gossip and urban myth. Some speculated the tunnels were part of his opulent lifestyle, connecting his sprawling mansions to other famous homes like the Playboy Mansion, or even Michael Jackson's former estate. Others claimed they were used for more sinister purposes, but the story took a darker turn when federal agents raided two of Diddy's properties earlier this year, reportedly uncovering a network of underground spaces that raised serious questions. And while many dismiss the idea as exaggerated conspiracy fodder, the recent testimony of a janitor who worked on one of Diddy's estates is making skeptics think twice.
We have always said it is about the children. It's not just about me. Never just made it about me. I'm just the loudest one.
So, the anonymous janitor, whose identity has been protected for safety reasons, claims to have witnessed firsthand the eerie underbelly of one of Diddy's homes. According to this individual, the tunnels weren't just a quirky architectural feature. They were part of something far more sinister. The janitor alleges that during their time working on the property, they were instructed to clean and maintain areas that were off limits to most staff. These areas, they say, were located underground and accessible only through concealed entrances. The tunnels, described as cold, expansive, and dimly lit, reportedly led to several rooms, each more bizarre than the last.
And in this lawsuit, he claims that essentially P. Diddy was the Epstein of the rap industry.
One room, according to the janitor, was set up like a ceremonial space, adorned with strange symbols and markings on the walls. They described seeing items that looked like ritual artifacts, candles, large books with strange lettering, and even a chair in the center of the room that appeared to have restraints attached to it. The janitor claims they were told to clean this room without asking questions. "I just did what I was told," the witness reportedly said. "But the energy down there, it was heavy. You could feel it in the air. Something wasn't right." These claims align disturbingly well with other allegations that have surfaced against the music mogul. Over the past year, various lawsuits and testimonies have painted a picture of a man who used his wealth and power to manipulate and control those around him. And while the janitor's story might sound like something out of a horror movie, it has eerie similarities to other accounts. Multiple accusers have mentioned being taken to isolated locations, often with no clear way to leave, and being subjected to situations that they describe as degrading and terrifying. Could the tunnels have been part of a larger operation? Were they designed to keep certain activities hidden from prying eyes? These are the questions investigators and the public are now asking.
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
What makes the janitor's account particularly compelling is the level of detail they provide. They claim that one of the tunnels led to a room filled with security monitors showing live feeds from cameras positioned all over the property. This aligns with previous lawsuits that alleged Diddy kept constant surveillance on his staff and guests. But the most chilling claim involves a locked room that the janitor says they were never allowed to enter. "I cleaned every other room down there," they said, "but that one. They told me to stay out, no matter what. It had a steel door with a keypad, and only certain people were allowed in." The janitor speculates that the room may have been used to store recordings, a claim that has fueled speculation about whether Diddy kept evidence of his alleged activities. The janitor's testimony is just the latest in a string of revelations that suggest the tunnels weren't just architectural curiosities, but part of a larger, darker network. Over the past year, multiple lawsuits have accused Diddy of orchestrating events that involved coercion, exploitation, and other disturbing behaviors. One of the most explosive claims came from his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who described being subjected to situations that she said made her feel trapped and powerless. She alleged that Diddy controlled every aspect of her life, using fear and intimidation to keep her compliant. Interestingly, Cassie's lawsuit mentioned being taken to isolated locations, which some believe could include the infamous tunnels.
That's of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
It's not just the janitor or Cassie making these claims. Another accuser, who filed a lawsuit under the pseudonym Jane Doe, described a similar setup. She claimed that she was taken to a secluded property where she was kept in a room for hours, unable to leave. The room, she said, was soundproof, with no windows and only one door. While the lawsuit doesn't specify whether this happened in one of Diddy's tunnels, the description matches what the janitor has revealed about the underground spaces. Together, these accounts paint a picture of a highly organized operation designed to isolate and control individuals.
That he controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
Adding fuel to the fire, some have drawn comparisons between Diddy's alleged activities and those of Jeffrey Epstein, whose private properties, including his infamous private island, were similarly shrouded in secrecy. Like Epstein, Diddy is accused of leveraging his wealth and connections to create an environment where he could act with impunity. And like Epstein, the allegations against him include claims of complicity by others in his circle. The janitor's testimony hints at this, describing how other staff members seemed to know about the tunnels, but were either too afraid or too loyal to speak out. Everyone knew not to ask questions, the janitor reportedly said. It was just understood. The janitor's revelations have also reignited speculation about the so-called desert hunters. This shadowy group, which has been mentioned in connection with other cases involving isolated properties, is rumored to be involved in tracking down and silencing individuals who try to escape from situations like the ones described in the lawsuit. While there's no concrete evidence linking Diddy to this group, some believe the tunnels could have been used to transport people in and out of his properties without being detected. The janitor's account of hidden entrances and secretive comings and goings only adds to the intrigue.
Now, if the government is going to mandate that they are responsible for your well-being, they have to ensure the safety of your well-being.
What's perhaps most unsettling about the janitor's story is how it fits into the broader pattern of allegations against Diddy. Over the years, the music mogul has faced numerous accusations, many of which have been settled out of court. Critics argue that these settlements allowed him to avoid accountability, enabling him to continue his alleged behavior unchecked. But now, with federal investigators involved and new witnesses coming forward, it seems the tide may be turning. The janitor's testimony, while unverified, adds a new layer of complexity to the case, raising questions about how much more remains hidden and who else might be implicated.
And a lot of the evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those two raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named freak-offs.
As the public grapples with these revelations, one thing is clear. The fascination with Diddy's tunnels isn't going away anytime soon. Whether they're a testament to his eccentricity or a key piece of evidence in a much larger conspiracy, they've captured the imagination of a world hungry for answers. And with each new allegation, the mystery only deepens. What else might investigators uncover? And how many more people will come forward with stories of their own? For now, the truth remains buried, both figuratively and, it seems, literally. But as the walls close in, it's only a matter of time before more secrets are unearthed. The janitor's chilling account ends with a haunting statement. I don't know what they were doing down there, but I know it wasn't good. I just hope someone finally puts a stop to it. These words echo the sentiments of many who have followed this case closely, wondering how such activities, if the allegations are true, could have gone on for so long without consequence. The next steps in the investigation will be crucial, not just for uncovering the truth about Diddy, but for understanding the broader systems of power and complicity that may have enabled him. Could this be the beginning of the end for one of music's most iconic figures? Or is this just the start of a much deeper, darker story?
It's just incredible. And, it brings into context our whole system of innocent till proven guilty. Why is he not being given bond? And, we can debate that all day long. Of all people that's unlikely to flee or get away, well, he's got the resources to flee, but he's so recognizable. And isn't he innocent till proven guilty? Well, yeah, but, we have to recognize there are degrees of innocent till proven guilty.
If you thought the revelations about the tunnels and the chilling testimony of the janitor were shocking, the deeper implications are even more unsettling. The more you dig into the allegations surrounding Sean Diddy Combs, the clearer it becomes that this isn't just one person's story. The accusations hint at a vast network of powerful individuals who may have been complicit or even directly involved in these alleged activities. And as the investigation unfolds, many are drawing parallels to another infamous case, that of Jeffrey Epstein. Could Diddy be at the center of a similar web of influence, secrecy, and exploitation? Let's continue unraveling these connections and explore why this case could be far bigger than anyone initially realized. One of the most disturbing aspects of these allegations is the suggestion that Diddy didn't act alone. According to rumors and leaked details, there are whispers of a larger group of high-profile figures, politicians, celebrities, and industry elites who may have participated in or enabled these alleged activities. The janitor's testimony, for example, hinted at a sense of hierarchy within the tunnels. They described seeing people who clearly held more power than others, individuals who came and went with an air of authority. These weren't just random visitors. They appeared to be part of a well-organized operation. And the more you look into Diddy's social circle, the more questions arise.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
Diddy has long been known for his extravagant lifestyle and his connections with some of the biggest names in entertainment, business, and even politics. Over the years, he's been photographed with everyone from Jay-Z to Hollywood, A-listers, and even prominent political figures. But what if those connections extended beyond the red carpet? Some conspiracy theorists believe that Diddy's alleged activities couldn't have gone unnoticed by those in his circle, and that some may have even benefited from or participated in them. It's a theory that's gaining traction as more details emerge about the kind of gatherings Diddy allegedly hosted. One term that keeps coming up in the lawsuits and testimonies is freak-offs. These were reportedly private gatherings hosted by Diddy where the boundaries of consent and decency were allegedly pushed to their limits. According to one lawsuit, these events often involved long nights, bizarre demands, and situations that left attendees feeling trapped and powerless. What's even more chilling is the suggestion that these gatherings weren't limited to Diddy's properties. Some accusers claim that they were flown to remote locations, including private islands and secluded mansions where the rules seem to disappear entirely. Could these have been the same kinds of settings where Epstein was said to have hosted his infamous parties? The similarities are hard to ignore.
Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right?
What makes this even more alarming is the fact that some of the allegations against Diddy involve extremely high-profile individuals. While no names have been officially confirmed, certain accusers have hinted at the presence of other celebrities and public figures at these gatherings. This has led to widespread speculation about who else might be involved. Could some of Diddy's most famous friends have been complicit in these alleged activities? And if so, how deep does this conspiracy go? It's a question that's left many people wondering whether Diddy is just the tip of the iceberg. Adding to the intrigue is the sheer level of influence Diddy has wielded over the years. As the founder of Bad Boy Records, he's not just a musician or producer. He's a cultural icon who helped shape the hip-hop industry. His record label launched the careers of some of the biggest names in music, and his business ventures have made him one of the wealthiest figures in entertainment. But with great power comes the ability to manipulate and control, and that's exactly what some accusers say Diddy did. They claim he used his wealth and influence to silence critics, intimidate witnesses, and cover up his alleged activities. And if these claims are true, it raises serious questions about how many people might have turned a blind eye in exchange for a piece of the piece of the piece of the pie.
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
Take, for example, the allegations involving surveillance footage. Multiple lawsuits have mentioned the existence of hidden cameras on Diddy's properties, with some accusers claiming that these cameras recorded everything that happened during his gatherings. If these recordings exist, they could be a treasure trove of evidence, not just against Diddy, but potentially against anyone else who was present. But here's where things get even murkier. Rumors suggest that some of these recordings may have already been destroyed or hidden. According to one theory, the recent raids on Diddy's properties weren't just about finding evidence against him. They were also about protecting other powerful individuals who might appear in those tapes. It's a chilling thought, and one that has led some to believe that the investigation could uncover a much larger conspiracy.
Not only should he have apologized to Kathy in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
The parallels to Epstein's case are impossible to ignore. Like Diddy, Epstein was accused of using his wealth and connections to exploit vulnerable individuals while shielding himself from accountability. Both men allegedly operated in secretive environments where the rules didn't seem to apply, and both cases involve a disturbing pattern of complicity from others in their circles. In Epstein's case, several high-profile figures have been accused of participating in or enabling his activities, including politicians, businessmen, and even royalty. Could Diddy's case follow a similar trajectory? It's a possibility that's left many people on edge.
Clients describe NBC as hell, as the worst conditions they've been in.
But while the comparisons to Epstein are striking, there's one key difference. Diddy's case is unfolding in real time, with new revelations emerging almost daily. This makes it harder for those involved to hide or deny their roles. For example, one recent lawsuit includes screenshots of text messages and video clips that allegedly show Diddy coercing individuals into compromising situations. If these materials are authentic, they could provide the kind of concrete evidence that was often missing in Epstein's case. And if more victims come forward with similar evidence, it could be the nail in the coffin, not just for Diddy, but for anyone else involved.
And Stacey, you say today's indictment reads like a mob indictment. What was most shocking to you of all these allegations?
Yeah, the fact, Jake, that the government in this indictment presented evidence alleging that Sean Combs was running a criminal enterprise.
Of course, not everyone is convinced that these allegations will lead to justice. Critics argue that Diddy's wealth and influence give him an advantage in the legal system, allowing him to settle lawsuits and avoid criminal charges. This has been a recurring theme in his career, with past accusations often ending in confidential settlements, but the tide may be turning. With federal agents now involved and public scrutiny at an all-time high, it's becoming increasingly difficult for Diddy to sweep these allegations under the rug. And as more people come forward with their stories, the pressure on law enforcement to act is only growing. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence against Diddy is the testimony of Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a former producer who worked closely with him. In his lawsuit, Jones alleges that he witnessed firsthand some of the activities that took place at Diddy's gatherings. He claims that Diddy pressured him to participate in these events and even asked him to transport certain items, including cameras and recording equipment. Jones also alleges that Diddy kept extensive records of his activities, including video footage stored on encrypted devices. If these claims are true, they could provide a direct link between Diddy and the accusations against him.
Problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see. These are allegations.
But Jones's testimony is just one piece of the puzzle. Over the past year, multiple accusers have come forward with stories that paint a consistent picture of manipulation, exploitation, and secrecy. One particularly haunting account comes from a woman who claims she was taken to one of Diddy's properties and kept there against her will. She describes being subjected to bizarre rituals and being told that she couldn't leave until she earned her way out. While her story hasn't been independently verified, it echoes many of the details provided by other accusers, including the janitor who described the tunnels beneath Diddy's mansion. And then there's the question of who else might be involved. As more names are mentioned in lawsuits and testimonies, the scope of the investigation continues to expand. Some accusers have hinted at the involvement of other celebrities, while others have suggested that certain politicians and business leaders may have played a role in covering up Diddy's alleged activities. While no concrete evidence has been presented to support these claims, the mere possibility has sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and beyond.
It's just interesting to me that with all the money he has and all the resources he has, they couldn't craft some solution that lets him be under some form of house arrest. And again, it sounds like special treatment, but the truth of the matter is, to incarcerate somebody like him is expensive to all of us. We're taxpayers, and he's got to have unique situations. You can't put him in general population where, everyone wants a piece of him and everyone wants to be his friend and everyone. So
one thing is certain, the investigation into Diddy's alleged activities is far from over. With new lawsuits being filed and more witnesses coming forward, it seems likely that additional revelations will emerge in the coming weeks and months. And as the case unfolds, it could have far-reaching implications, not just for Diddy, but for anyone else who may have been involved. Could this be the beginning of a larger reckoning within the entertainment industry? Or will it end in yet another high-profile settlement with the truth buried beneath layers of secrecy and denial? As the public waits for answers, one question looms large. How deep does this conspiracy go? Whether or not the allegations against Diddy are proven in court, the sheer volume of accusations, and the striking similarities between them suggests that there's more to this story than meets the eye. Could the tunnels beneath Diddy's mansion hold the key to unraveling a decades-long web of influence and corruption? Or are they just another piece of the puzzle, one that points to an even larger network of power and control? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more celebrity news and updates. See you in the next video.